There we are, we're back, racing RANT. What a sight we are.
Yeah, mixed Melbourne male. He found the Coleraine Cup winner yesterday, Glenn. So, a pretty ordinary Friday and Saturday, but came good yesterday with one race, one tip, one winner, Birds of Tokyo, you know?
I do have to say...
Birds of Tokyo won the Coleraine Cup, didn't it? What price one?
It was $7.
Well, that's the one that came up to Sydney and won.
Yeah. And Michelle Payne rode it yesterday. She replaced Jessica Payne.
Oh, there you go. The old 40-1 putt went in, didn't it? Beautiful. Beautiful. 40-foot putt, I mean.
I do have to say, I was watching Mix on Saturday, and although he didn't quite get the results, his information was still very good, because I was checking what the big guys were backing in Melbourne, and they were backing horses that Mick had found. So he's finding the right horses.
Yeah, so he's got a big week coming up. He's got Friday Night Valley, Saturday regulation Caulfield because it's grand final day.
Right, that's right.
So it's just
Sunday they have the meetings. We've got the grand final day. They're going to meet.
They've got Turnbull Stakes on Sunday.
Oh wow!
So he's got Friday night, Saturday, Sunday this week.
Some sort of deal there for the three? Have you thought about that or no?
I haven't thought about that, but we can certainly come up with a deal for the three of them. So watch the space, watch Facebook, where you'll get the very latest information from Racing RANT.
And Mark will be able to tell you tomorrow what the deal is on the Tuesday review, which I have been sacked from.
Yeah, you can get sacked from a show, can't you?
Fucking I won't be here.
Oh God.
Mind you, they're on a Kembla anyway, so I'll be there anyway. So, yeah, sacked.
Yeah, so you'll be able to get...
Oh, that's why it's Kembla. Jesus. No.
I'm telling you.
Well, you know where we should do the show? We should do the show at my house, you on the way to Kembla.
Yeah. I'll see you on Friday, guys. So Mark will have more information about that.
And the other thing on the site is up to date, all the information we have published since we started Racing RANT.
Including my stuff.
Including Manning Yard Mail. So you can look at, on the homepage there is past papers. And there's a photo of Glenn, there's a photo of me, and there's a photo of Mick. And if you click through there... Well, Gord hasn't published anything yet.
Oh, but is it a photo of you? We're trying to, keep the photos down.
No.
Trying to make the site popular. Go on.
You don't want the young fella coming on, you know? You only want the three old guys.
You're going to trim that ginger beard. She's getting a bit
Getting
low.
big, isn't it?
No, he just lost his ginger on top, so he thought I've got to find
Starting
it.
to think of it. Starting to
It's the old reverse hairstyle, isn't it? You know, everybody going bald ends up growing a beard.
Reminds me of Santa.
So you want to sit on my lap?
No. All right.
So all Glenn's tips since we started up Racing RANT, they're on the site there. My sheets right the way through the year, actually, all of 2016 sheets, and whatever Mick has put up as well, they're under past papers. And if you go to latest TV, you can also watch every show that we've done in the video vault. So there'll be people that come on board and they've watched the Punter Show before, they've missed our grand opening at Racing RANT, and they'll find us next week and they'll go, oh.
I met a couple of blokes last night at the Cassie that were talking about the Punter Show and we'd wish it was on. I said, it's Racing RANT. They didn't even know.
It's amazing how many people still don't know.
Don't even have any idea. So
well, it's okay, don't worry, those 3,800 people at Punter Show, you're about to find out.
If you enjoy our show, try and do the right thing, don't wear a condom and spread the virus. Let people know that we're about. Spread the virus. Poor bastards.
Now, on other matters, they changed the rule last week.
I had a good joke last night because they know about condoms. A bloke said he said to his girl, I'm really going to give it to you tonight. I've got the gold medal condom coming out. And the woman looked at him and said, can't you use the silver medal? Do you have to come first all the time? I quite liked it. That's pretty funny.
That's really good. Now, Glenn, I think given that we missed the last half of the rundown last week, why don't we start from the back?
All right, you look the other way. Is this us?
Okay. Yeah, so we'll start from the freshest email.
Which is from Rob?
Yeah, it's from Rob, who wanted to get a lift up to Newcastle 2 weeks ago.
Oh, yeah, there he is. Yeah. He's suffering with Glen Antonio Giuseppe. Then the protest at Warwick Farm, which I'm guess was being upheld by Preferment and Awesome Rock Aussie Cup. He dictated my line bullshit. Annoying to him. No ball protest room on Sky. Then on Saturday, Van Halen the highway each way all day. Hashtag can't take overs. Rob from Maruba. G'day, Rob.
It's torture, isn't it?
Well, it is torture. I mean, I thought the protest was frivolous. If you watch the replay, contact is made by Glenn's horse into that other horse first. Hieronymus suffered a bit of.
By the way, that's another thing. If he had a backed it with Bet365, he would have got protest payout.
There you go.
There you go.
Yeah, it's a bit of an icky one, isn't it? Because it's really good if you've backed it with a corporate and you get the protest payout.
Oh, it's terrific.
I can't tune my thinking into.
That's terrific about corporates.
Oh,
That's
do
the best thing
you know
they've
what's
ever brought in.
fantastic when you back both of them? You get paid out on both.
That's enormous.
It's fantastic, isn't it?
Yeah, that is
Was
true.
Tom the first to think of that idea? I think so. And then I reckon he'd be the first to rush it, and they don't do it anymore apparently.
Right. Well, I suppose.
But I think it was a
edge.
Tom Waterhouse idea
Yeah.
very early on. Wouldn't have been Tom Waterhouse. It wouldn't have been Tom's idea, but Tom's company's idea. But very popular, very, very popular. Nothing better than watching your number go up. That was one of the great joys of greyhound racing. You know, you back to winner, they go past the post, 10 seconds, correct weight.
Yeah.
No problem. So takes that anxiety out of the game. Now I saw that interference when watched the replay. Said, "I'm sweet. There's no way Glenn will protest." Apparently Glenn didn't want to protest. Stewards. I will say one thing about that protest. I feel stewards saw interference there and they said, "Adam Hieronymus must suffer."
I don't think they thought that. I think they're in this channel of there's interference, the margin's 0.1, it's upheld. They didn't freaking watch the run in the straight where Waller's horse had the entire length of the straight and couldn't get the leader. It was outrageous. That was an outrageous protest decision in my opinion.
I was quite happy it was upheld.
And I'm just disgusted by it because.
Well, look, I made the eventual winner my best bet of the day, but I was sick watching the race down the running, thinking, wow, it's barely been interfered with, and
So
it
the whole
just
straight.
had no interest in winning the race.
I think stewards went there with the opinion we're upholding before any evidence was brought in.
Well, of course, they were the ones that wanted to do the protest. They told Glenn, if you don't protest, we're going to protest. Well, there you go. It was already decided. When the stewards decides there's going to be a protest no matter
isn't
what,
a horse
it's going to be
allowed
upheld.
to shift in the run? Don't horses shift all the time to take runs? If you're not touching another horse, you're not making any contact, then that shift shouldn't be counted as interference. Don't we see horses pull out all the time and shift? So Hieronymus moved out, and then McDonald's there, they make no contact, and as McDonald moves out, Glenn smashes into him. How's it upheld?
I don't think it's as obvious as you guys are making out, but
you
I
think
don't-
it was grounds?
No, hang on. An obvious
I'd have
protest.
a
An obvious
protest and
protest
dismiss.
is running up to go past the other horse, getting interfered with, and not getting past it. That's an obvious protest.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You
but
know, you're
I don't think
watching
you
the race and
but
you're
you
going,
can't use
this
the-
is going to win.
You can't use the argument this horse had its chance to get past and didn't. It's about, did the interference cost the margin? That's their rules.
I know that's their rules,
So
but
that's
that's
it.
not a holistic way to look at the
That's
race.
not how they rule all the time.
That's what they're supposed to follow. Did the interference cost the margin? That's all they're supposed to rule.
Sorry, so Cross Stitch lost a head on the turn, so therefore
is
it
their
that's bullshit. That is not racing. Racing
We've
is
seen a stack
a
of other
dynamic
protests
thing.
that horses have moved out and caused interference in the margin, and they say, no, well, the second horse was never going to... There was one at Canterbury about a year ago.
The second horse was never going to get there.
Never going to get there. Anyway.
Sometimes they go
We've
your
got to
way,
change the
sometimes they
stewardship. I mean,
don't. Just don't worry
Mr.
about it.
Dingwall probably I think he was the number one boss of the day. He's come straight from Hong Kong. Maybe in Hong Kong we just go, oh, that's terrible.
Look, you really just got to put it behind you.
Okay, the bottom line is this. How come I'm always on the fucking wrong end of it? For 36 years, I never want to protest to be live, and I've been fucking
You just don't remember.
smashed.
You don't remember the
I'm
protest
saying you
won.
only
No,
remember
no,
the
no.
bad stories. Yeah.
No, I'm telling you, it's 20 for 1. What
Alright,
about
okay.
Clever Boy that day at Warwick Farm? I was just about to go to England. I had 30,000 to 3,000. I was going all right. Nashville went up the inside from behind, and as it went past the winner, the second horse, it brushed it from behind it and going away. Murray upheld it. I still
Crazy.
don't know how.
Crazy. He's going, well, there's interference and there's a narrow margin. Uphill.
But how come I'm always on the wrong side of it? It fucking does my head in. I mean, I'm never... You know how things are supposed to bounce the ball, rubber the green?
Yeah.
I cop it sweet all the time. I cop it sweet anyway. But it doesn't even out for me. And
No, it's not supposed to even out.
why not?
No, you're just unlucky with protests. Full stop.
No, full stop before then. I'm just unlucky.
Question for Glenn. I'm looking for a new
I
career,
am.
and given that you're out of here upon turning 55,
Which is in a year and 2
believe
days.
isn't too far away because it's Glenn's birthday on Wednesday.
So a year and 2 days I got left, guys. I got 367 days left on the planet.
How
We
much?
should put like a clock up here.
Countdown.
3, 5, 2, 3, 4, 2. I'm fucking checking out. I'm going.
Okay, how much to purchase the body of knowledge, which I'm defining as,
The 4 key negatives.
and insight into how to assess a horse in the yard.
Is he saying how much to purchase? Oh, how much?
Yeah.
How much?
Yeah, how much?
Well, the price is more expensive at this period of time, but then as the days go down, the price has to come down.
Right.
So let's say today it's $367,000 today.
That's
but
a nice
tomorrow,
exact amount.
well, tomorrow it's 366,000. So 3 months out it's 90,000.
Okay.
A month out it's 30,000. You're better off buying it off me this day in a year for $2,000. And then I'll just
But is he going to have time? He says you'll
Yeah.
have to throw in a handover period, which I'll set at 4 metro meetings
Okay, there you
and
go.
2 regional meetings.
What does that mean? Does he want to come in a bit
Yeah,
tight?
So that
Yeah.
means he only needs 2 weeks.
He needs 2
So
weeks.
therefore-
So what's the price of 2 weeks out?
14,000.
And I'd need a lift to the races during that period. Regards, Craig.
Oh, geez, he's pushing
All
it.
these people want lifts off me, and then every person that comes with me never wants to come again.
I'm telling you, you don't want to lift with him.
It's a
Yeah.
fucking maniac.
Yeah.
Don't stop for anything. Red lights, I just give way. Unless you got a camera.
There's
You don't want to drive,
There's
mate.
stop signs if they've got a camera.
Like the hardest, toughest bloke I know, did 29 years in Boggo Road jail, got a lift with me, and he said, "Fuck
It was more dangerous in your car than in jail.
He did 29 years in Boggo Road. He said, never fucking again."
Oh.
Mind you, we were at some lights, right? And then I pulled under the oncoming traffic, which came too quick before I could do the illegal return. So then I pulled into where the shop fronts were, drove along, hoping no one came out of the milk bar, and then right into the garage, round the fuel pumps the wrong way, and then did the right-hand turn because we were late. And he was just there and he said, "That'll do me, never again."
You know what you do? Take some form if you're on the way to the races and just
read?
keep your head down.
Have you driven me?
Yeah, he gave me a lift once. That's it. It's only ever once.
Once. Well, the worst thing was I got a lift with Glenn a couple of years ago to the Hawkesbury standalone, and going up there was fine. It was typical standard what I was expecting. We picked up Billy in Chatswood and off we went. But coming home,
I'd lost.
but also we got snookered in the car park.
Oh, that's right. 10,000 car hold up. It was
You
less
know,
than an hour.
there's the one little exit and entrance to this corralled car park.
We were out in 32 seconds.
We weren't, unfortunately.
Oh.
Have a fucking look at this. Have a fucking look at this.
That cunt knows how to drive.
Is it like driving in Athens? But you don't seem to horn as much as they do in
Unless
the
it's a pretty girl.
Mediterranean cities.
Beep, beep.
Yeah. Oh, it's a friendly little toot.
Hi guys, I'm sure you will have gone over this a few times in the first section, but asking you anyway, is First Seal this season's captains? Seems like it had every chance and very disappointing. I'll say yes.
Well, it was very disappointing, and I'm finished with it.
I'm sure the Beeshian effort aboard Prized Icon has been debated, but surely the stewards have to question the ride and not just the interference. I don't know about that. Haven't seen the stewards report, but seems slightly easy in the market and late on Betfair, and it was very easy, that's true, and then ridden very strangely.
How does Betfair know?
I don't know how they
It
know.
doesn't, because we don't talk about the times where it gets it wrong. You're just remembering the times where it gets it right.
Yeah, I know, and sort of
I don't know.
1 plus 1
The
equals
market's
3.
not as smart as people make out. That's what I reckon.
Yeah, good call there, Gord. And also, what were your thoughts on Ty England's ride on Shotgun Rule there? He seemed to be cruising, then suddenly saw the winner coming down the outside, realised he needed to get going far too
1250
late.
to 1500. That's racing.
I may be talking through my pocket for the Shin and England rides, but both very ordinary on horses well in the market.
Well, yeah, I was on both those horses. They cost me money.
Yeah, you weren't. Yeah. Hi guys.
I'm sure Shin wanted to ride that race like you, win that race. Like another one that could do with talking up when he talks after the races too. He gets into a bit of a. I don't know.
Well, he's another depressive type, isn't he? He's on the ADs.
How the fuck's he depressed?
Oh,
He lives in a $3 million home.
Do they have to list it?
Hang on.
Yeah.
He drives a beautiful car. He's got a lovely young lady. He earns $800,000 a year. Like, fuck, what's wrong with people?
well,
Become a punter for fucking 12 months and tell me about depression. Fucking back A. Hieronymus at Warwick Farm. Have your last. Just fucking. Fuck. They go out everywhere. Everyone says they're the best.
but isn't that hard? It's hard being successful.
Shut the fuck up, man.
Hi guys, long-time Punter Show fan, now hooked on the new venture, a bit late to the party, but better late than never. Question I have for all three of the team is how to handle Warwick Farm.
I'm a good Warwick Farm handler.
If current form holds, I'm looking at having a third consecutive losing year at the farm, but winning fairly comfortably at the other three metro tracks.
And the good side of it is you might be Steward Davidson.
Only bet Melbourne and
He was
Sydney,
like-
and the farm is by far my worst punting track of the 8 total metro tracks across
Stewie
both
Davidson
states.
gave up Warwick Farm after about 10 years. Had exactly the same problem as you. But on the
Yes.
flip side, he owns a $18 million home now. So you'll be sweet. You're gone.
Yeah, so why
My thing is, you track all your data, you track your bets, and if it's not working somewhere, change the way you do it, but also reduce your bets.
well, you could just brush Warwick Farm.
You can just brush it too.
But
But the thing is, Warwick Farm's a weird one,
Yeah,
but because Warwick Farm, I'll be like
Don't brush.
wipe out, and then
Fat
5
day,
from
fat
7.
day.
You know what I mean? So it's like,
I've been losing at Hawkesbury for 36 years, so,
So
it doesn't
ma-
stop me betting it.
maybe, you know, I always think there's
When
an
they change the track.
I think there's an argument to be said that like if you feel like you're seeing the early races right, then keep on betting. If you feel like you don't have a feel for it in the early races, Brasco the last.
Yeah, I think it's quite easy to get an intuition about how you've handled the program from the first 2 races. It's like I'm off the ball here.
Yeah. I definitely find it.
Yeah. Unfortunately, I'm in a position not to be able to.
Which is a
but-
good example for it actually being a positive value situation to let it ride. Hey?
What a show. You loved it. Anyway, so he met me, did he? He met me a couple of years ago on Wednesday.
Yeah, not sure if Glenn will remember this, but we
I
met at
do vaguely.
Yeah, Randwick meet August 2 years ago.
I normally wouldn't remember it, but I do remember meeting someone that I lived in the same suburb when I was in Melbourne, which is in Brighton, which is a nice place. And even though I was promoting much better in 2014, I agree, it's still great to have him on my computer screen talking shit weekly. Good on you, that's a very nice thing to say.
That's Anthony. A story for you boys about Mick. Now, we didn't know this until yesterday. While at school in the 70s, I used to play centre for Cronulla High School. We went into a knockout comp, won our first few games. Then we came up against De La Salle. 5 minutes into the game, the winger broke down, so he said, and the fullback was busy covering the other wing, so the coach put me out on the right wing against this bloke that was scoring try after try
So
with
who was the
ease.
bloke? Was this Mick?
Mick was the centre, but he was put onto the wing to try and stop this other bloke.
Right.
No problem, I thought, until he ran around my left to score, then on my right. I think at one stage he went under me and might have even jumped over me, scoring try after try, while my teammates stayed on the other side of the field yet gave me a serve. We got beat something like 46-0 and I said, fuck, that's my football career over. I'm not fast enough nor good enough to stop the opposition. Needless to say, I retired from league and the fast kid on the wing, Andrew Eddinghausen, went on to have a pretty good future in league.
That was a tremendous player.
And hit on my wife.
Did he?
No, I'm just saying he's got a bit of a reputation.
Does he,
doesn't Yes.
He's an Northies crew member?
Well, wasn't it? Didn't he sleep with one of his teammates' wives or something like that? There was a.
I don't know if he did that.
This
He
week,
did, for sure.
This week, Mick says, I'll do what all old Cronulla fans have done since the 70s, watch Cronulla make a grand final and get beat.
They'll win.
Well, my suggesting betting strategy for this week is get Mick's mail in Melbourne and all up it all into Cronulla.
Cronulla will win. Lightly raced,
keen,
keen,
tough,
Yeah.
fresh. Yeah, got
Fresh.
that.
So what's the betting?
I'd say
Melbourne's
it's-
favourite.
Yeah,
but
4
I
to 7,
reckon
7 to 4.
Yeah. But I reckon it'll get
280.
close to parity. I reckon by the time kick off.
Evens.
Yeah, I reckon it'll be close. Yeah.
Right. So you're saying take the 280?
I'm saying the person that's going to decide the match is actually the referee. If he doesn't let Storm players do all that wrestling shit, Cronulla win. If he lets them get away with too much of that, Melbourne win. So I'm going even.
But isn't the grand final or finals football a situation where they do tend to be a bit hands off?
Yeah, they tend like state of
A
origin.
bit like
with
State
it,
of Origin, yeah. They get scared to make the big decision because they might... Yeah.
Well,
I'm backing Cronulla anyway. And
Fuck, I hate Melbourne. They're the fucking best dogs ever. Their coaches completely ruined the game. And that Cameron Smith, you just shit him the minute you fucking look at him. And that Cooper fucking Cronk, that little up yourself cocksucking
I know. Just sort of prance. He's a wank,
and then he goes,
isn't
he carries on after the game. He goes around and gives everyone a pat in the arse.
I know. And then
Fucking
in the
hate
interview,
him.
he's just so monotone and boring, and
thing
taking himself
I
too
hope Gallen
seriously.
smashes and that
Yeah,
mad bikey belts the shit out of him for feeder.
Yeah,
Hope he just fucking goes to hammer and tong. Gee, I'm cheering Cronulla. Fact, only because I just hate Melbourne.
yeah.
They're fucked. They're just the way they've changed the game. They've
I
made
know,
it so
I know.
slow
Yeah,
and
yeah.
boring. They win everything 14-12. They take little shots at goals. The fucking captain, check him out. He's got the heaviest beard you've ever seen, and the fucking thing, and the fucking, fucking
Heavy beard.
Mongolian eyebrows, and then he's got the fucking shaved legs. Imagine that shaving its fucking legs.
So are they St George of the 60s? Just churning it out.
They just fucking play to win. It just shits me.
It's what everyone else does.
You've got to play to play. Winning's just part of playing, but playing's the most important thing. It's like our game. You've got to play.
You do have to play. Hi guys, love the new show. Glenn seems to be reborn,
There you
although
go.
not tomorrow,
Hey,
and
been
found
sacked.
a new lease on life, albeit having the language filter on.
Why? Do I
Yes.
swear?
I mean, look, not the language filter, the filter that set us on an interesting path last time.
Oh, yeah.
Could he please tell the Weekend Hustler story? It seems to get mentioned as one of his many bad beats.
Well, it is a bad beat. Like, it's
It is
disgusting.
a great story, the Weekend Hustler story. Away you go. It's a short story.
Just quickly, I went to Melbourne, sold a house, cashed up.
Well, I'll interject there and say, Glenn used to say to Steve Collar and I, have a look at that. There's another 16-1 chance winning in Melbourne. They just win all the time.
And it was in my price range. I thought, well, I've just got to give myself a lick of an ice cream. So I sold property. I've got a wife and 3 children at the time. And oldest boy, Kurt, was just going into year 7 and the others were all in primary. So, you sell your house to go follow
So it was
16.
20 years ago.
Yeah. You sell your house to go follow 20-1 chances. No, it's 23.
You sell your house to follow 20-1 chances.
Yeah.
That's great.
Well, yeah, go home to your missus tonight and say, listen, love, you wouldn't believe it. I think there's a lot of 10-1 chances in Melbourne. We don't have a mortgage on our beautiful property here. Let's just sell it and go down and see if we can back more of them.
You did have the property because of the 10-1 chances in the first place.
So I know, but I'm just saying it's very solid of her. So you lob down there and you go to a few meetings and you're back in, I don't know, 4,000 each way, 6,000 each way.
What
You're
was
being
your tank?
competent.
What was your opening tank?
800. I had 800 in the bank. And the other
Oh,
time,
that's right. You went down there and they wouldn't give you a property because you only had money in the bank.
yeah, no, I couldn't get a rental thing, and then I said about the 7th day, I drove down there with no house. Just drove down. Just put everything in
Didn't
a...
set up accommodation before
No,
you went down?
no,
Nothing.
I said, we'll be sweet, I got plenty of money. She went, you got no job? I went, yeah. So 7th agent we pop in, I had a copy of my bank statement here, I love it, it was 818,000 in the bank. Can I rent something? And that's why we lived in Brighton, it was 1,500 a week, it was like, nothing. So of course I'm going around, I'm, 3 each way, and a lot of 10-1 chances of winning, and I'm never on them, and I do 20, do 30, do 20, do 30, do 50, do 30, win 20, but losing, and I get out to, and I don't remember what meeting it was, but you can look up Weekend
out wide?
Hustler. Yeah, it was out wide. It's Weekend Hustler, first run of the race. I'm down there watching the parade, and haven't been winning. It's first race. Oh yeah, this thing comes in, Weekend Hustler, run race, and I just go, oh yeah, and I go, what the fuck is that? Watch it again, watch it again, watch it again. Wow. Wow. Go back into the ring. It was $9 every single board each way. And you go, well, that's a trip to miss a place, just on the parade. And because a lot of my things too with Manning Yard Mail, you should know, is when I do declare something immoral, and they've got a really good record, not only do they fit in every category of how a horse should parade for me, generally, other horses in the market, for me to tell you that's immoral, parade poorly. So you get that double edge of, they look no good, and this looks sensational. And that's why I said this will be in the finish. And that, you've got to remember, I'm not just saying, oh, this one will be in the finish. I'm saying this one will be because they won't. And fucking, there's this fucking thing at 2-1 and 3-1. Just dead sick grubs. So I went back into the ring. Now I either had 20,000 to 2,400 each way because they all bet the Melbourne fraction down there of.
Well, they were pre-decimal odds probably as well.
Yeah,
then, so
they all bet 5,600 each way. Whether I had it 6 times or 4 times, I can't remember. So to win 20 or 30 each way. And I watched them run going, oh, I just moved there and it's gone. And I should have taken a run there. And I didn't, And it runs fourth. And these things that I sort of didn't, they sort of run the placings or whatever. And I've come back and I'm going, gee, I've run no good down here. Like, but that horse looks a pretty good horse. Anyway.
It was only weekend hustler.
It did win its next 9 starts in a fucking row. Like, how the fuck does that happen to you?
Well, it happens to you.
But how does it? Fuck, it was a bad beat, I'll tell you. And
Have you
whoever rode Weekend Hustler in the first race,
Was it B rewarded?
I will say it now, you were brown fucking bread. Dopey people, didn't know it was good enough to win it, could have shit him. The only person on it was me.
The only person that knew it could win was you.
And I unloaded on it. And they, obviously, typical first run race, just educational, give it a look around. Fucking horse was an out and out champion. One of the best horses I ever saw. And one of the best horses I ever saw from the Mounting Yard Mail. Definitely in my top 10, probably in my top 5 of all time paraders. And
Did you actually ever see it again, or was that just before you
just
turned?
towards the end, I think I was heading back to Sydney.
Wasn't there the other one down at Kembla, this horse that ended
Oh,
up...
can we not fucking talk about it? Fuck's sake, it brings everyone entertainment, but it's my whole life been ruined by my ordinary
But what
life.
about when you're doing the form now and you came second to this horse and this horse is now running at Rockhampton and your horse that you backed heavily and it came second is winning Saturday Metropolitan race. It happens all the time.
Happens all the time. I've been up on Fine Mist in its first ever run, Maiden Kembla, ran fourth. Timmy Clark went on. And every time fucking I see Fine Mist, whenever Timmy Clark's near the horse, I go, what about that fucking grey at Kembla's first run race? And he just goes, oh, fucking, sorry about that, Glenster. It's just embarrassing what that bloke did there. But at the time.
But that's racing.
It is racing, and I understand horses have to have educational runs, and I understand that part of the game is about educating horses, but it is a bit annoying when you're always especially with the area I deal in, which is Mounting Yard Mail, I can predict a very good looking horse. First time I ever saw So You Think, a bloke said, yeah, it looks a nice horse. Glenn said, it'll win a Cox Plate. It had never run a race. I was wrong. It won 2 Cox Plates. But did I ever make any money out of it?
Hold on, where's that O'Shea horse gone now?
Oh, fucking admit it. There's always a fucking narc in every crowd, honey. It's always a narc.
There is a new hopeful. It's called Malone.
I'm with you, Gordo hater. I'll fucking stick my head in next email.
Maney says, big congratulations to Mick on his set today. This is last Wednesday where he gave out a set for sale that everyone who got it, and it was offered for free. Not just because it was a ripping winning set, but because he put it out there for free. There are plenty of pros out there selling their wares, but Mick stands out in a crowded arena by throwing us mug punters a bone every now and then.
He does, and he keeps ringing us to tell us to give away more free stuff. We hold him back.
Or as it stands at the moment, quite regularly on Facebook. As does Mark, Glenn and Gordo by doing the previews. Some of us multiple previews, others single previews from now on. This in turn makes us feel like a valued customer, not just a mini cash cow to be abused.
And you are a valued customer. We'd rather enjoy the show than make any money
The
out of it.
cynic in me says this won't last once Mick gets a large loyal following, but the optimist in me hopes it does.
I'm sure we'll.
Once again, congratulations to you all on a great job thus far, and again, thanks Mick. The Scotch will come off the top shelf tonight. Glenn, good and bad Glenn, says, hi fellas, interested in your thoughts regarding yesterday's 2-year-old trials at Randwick. Disappointing was the first thing that came to mind.
All the reports I've got
back.
back, I haven't looked at them either. And I go usually every year, but I didn't go this year. I've been walling a bit, still getting over that protest.
We did the show from them last year.
Yeah, we did too, with the old Dow
And
boy.
the year before, I think.
Dow was always a big lover of the 2-year-old
Yeah.
trials. And that was the journalist side of him, I suppose, because that would have gone back to his
Smooth,
race net.
yeah.
So they're the 838s at Randwick, are they?
Yeah. They'd be on the Kensington track.
I didn't go. All the reports I got from riders and everybody and everything, all a bit disappointing. They all agree with you.
So it's gone, is it? I mean, when I got into racing, the midweek used to put out 2 books of trial sets. So there used to be a dozen trials at Canterbury, and then 2 weeks later there would be 25 trials at Randwick.
But
Right.
you could bet on them in those days too. I
Bet
mean, I
on
know it was
trials.
illegal, but
Yeah.
it was quite...
Cold Tidy would have been up there
Yeah.
betting on the trials. But I mean, it's just the way racing's gone. It's all very bloody sanitised. And there aren't as many early season 2-year-olds. There aren't as many variables probably. But look, I'm not exactly what you're driving at there, Glenn, because I haven't looked at the
I haven't looked at it because
Yeah,
I'm just fucking exhausted.
Greg Ray says, "Hi Mark, could you tell Glenn that Michael Sullivan learned how to be a bookie from Brian Ogilvie?
I remember that connection.
He was Queensland's biggest bookie for years, and Brian always stood the favourite. Sounds like Michael's gone back to his own old ways. It didn't help Brian in his last few years of bookmaking."
No, the game's become very favourite orientated. They know the punters do seem to be able to work out what favourite's going to win. I noticed they're taking 262 there on Saturday, impending on the fair. So they were taking 262. To back it, it was 260. Blue bet 280. It doesn't sound like a winning formula to me.
But you still got to get there. You got to take advantage of this.
You can have 2,000 at 280 and get 2,000 back at 262. That's 2,000 times 18 cents. Is you got impending going for $360 for no risk. Sounds all right to me.
I just hold it.
Just get the bet. I agree with that, but not everyone thinks like that. You know, they can't take the 280 home on the lounge in their leather undies.
By the way, there's comms there too.
Yeah, I know there's comms, but it's still, I know there's comms, but it's still, what I'm saying is the 280 is a particularly fair price with a bookie with his hands like this. Yeah, you're on.
And he let you on too.
Fucking he lets you on.
Well, he's there to bet.
He's at a bet. And I'm
not on
saying
every runner, just
it
on
doesn't
some
sound like a winning formula for him.
It's just too sort of one variable simple, isn't it? I'm just going to lay the favourite.
It's fucking Simple Simon, isn't it?
Yeah.
Maybe he is Simple Simon.
Anyway, it's part of the landscape at the moment, and we appreciate it. We're grateful for it.
I'm Cockhead Glenn.
Hi Mark, Glenn and Gordo. Congrats on the new show. Very sharp and great to listen to while doing routine tasks. I don't know if that's damning with faint praise there, Ashley. I have a suggestion for a new segment.
Yes.
What's that bird call? Well, the birds have been particularly
Quiet today.
vociferous in the last couple of meetings. As spring emerges and before Baird bulldozes everything in sight, which he's certainly trying to do, why not satisfy the listener's curiosity? Just have your director, camera, sound person,
Yeah. Who's that?
hang on, I'll have a look for them, spot the different species and have a prize for the correct answer. I will naturally disqualify myself. My namesake is, after all, considered the clumsy grandfather of ornithology in Australia. That's John Latham.
Oh, okay.
Well, I think Ashley Latham might set up a bowler there and take out the tournament. I think his wife might be emailing in the answer.
The old bowler account.
Anyway, he's a good man, Ashley. Thanks for watching the show. Nick emails, "Hi guys, absolutely love the show. I'm 22 years old and can defiantly, I think he means definitely, say
Just started to shave, 22.
I've learned a lot just from watching the show as a young punter and seeing everyone's different opinion about races, horses, etc. I was perhaps wondering if you guys could do a special RANT edition in regards to discussing your multiple techniques and form analysis. Also would love if one of you guys could perhaps explain why barrier trials are so important and how to read them well. That could be a special segment, Gordo. Another question of mine is, would you say Betfair is a valuable insight to compare to the tab market? Thanks a lot for the insights on the show, and would say every day of the week I look forward to the next episode. All the best.
That's very nice. He's a young whippersnipper, see?
And
hasn't started walling yet. Wait, let's
Nick, we're working on doing a couple of special episodes where Glenn will talk about how to use mounting yard mail and Mark will talk about how to use his sheets.
I think we'll be chasing
and I'll
Glenn around
talk
with a
about
pedal.
how I use their information to help what I do as well. So in the next couple of weeks we'll be doing something like that.
Yeah.
Okay, there you go. More work for the old Gladster. He loves it. All right, Gladster.
Teeny mentioned that you were talking 2 weeks ago on the show about the state government banning greyhound, banning the betting on away greyhounds and tracks.
No, I was saying, are they going to?
And Teeny says that would be a restriction on trade between the states and not legal. I know he was only kidding, but I did wonder whether it was illegal, so I asked some questions.
Good on you, Tony. Well, that answers the question. So they will be betting on interstate
It
greyhounds.
doesn't
and
matter,
cars
they're going
eagles.
to back down and greyhound racing is going to continue.
Yeah, so
Everyone keeps saying that, but we get closer and closer.
Whispers in
You
the
sure?
Liberal Party are saying they're like anyone that's got a constituency that's got a decent amount of dog
people.
Yeah,
well,
they're getting a lot of heat, and they're going to the Premier going, "Can you drop off, mate? Can you drop off, mate?"
You're an imbecile.
And I think it's hasn't it been? Is there a suggestion that the ban will be postponed for 3 years?
Oh, but then just die a slow death,
Yeah.
because then you get another premier.
Yeah, and then just
Flick.
Well, I mean, there's hope for all of us, isn't there?
Well, you can't be barring things. How do you bar things? What are you going to bar next? fucking go in the toilet sitting down. You know I sit down when I piss.
Why?
Yeah. I don't know, just the gay bits. Just sit. Get up. Unless I'm out in the
There's only
park.
one change I've got, and that is
and
if I've got
not in the
thongs on.
public
If
toilet.
I've got
Not in the public
thongs
toilet.
on,
Not in the public
I don't like to piss at the trough when I have thongs on.
Yeah, 'cause
Oh,
you're
that's
going to splatter your
large.
face.
That's large. Mind you, they've got those new
terrible.
little rubber things. If you aim at them, they
They splash back.
Oh, they're the kill splash things. Yeah, some little bloke thought of it. Another bloke making millions. Imagine living in a big home. Imagine making money. Oh, yeah, I invented non-urinal splash things. Fucking made 18 million last year. Fucking was lying in bed one night. Thought I was in thongs. How can I fix this? Like people get fortunes out of good ideas.
They sure do.
They get fortunes. And you sell it to America, you just go, oh yeah, we'll give you $750 million. Can't I get 800 million? It just fucking doesn't matter. Anyway, where are we?
Next.
Teeny said, I live a bit in the past with sport.
She does.
She went on to write, it's been a long time since Canterbury conducted the Sydney Metropolitan Saturday meeting. Well, that's not quite true because they do about 2 a year.
Why is she saying soccer's in the past?
Oh, no, not soccer.
Oh, hey. Be careful, Teeny.
She's talking about days of soccer in the past, not soccer being in the past. Just like living in the 70s cricket or the 70s soccer or whatever.
Oh, okay.
So
She's talking about also probably, like Manchester in '92 and all those. What's that show the other night? The class of '92, Scholesy and all those blokes.
Yeah.
And
They interviewed them.
You know,
It was a bit dry.
they
wasn't
won
it?
like the FA Cup, and there were 6 friends that grew up in a park.
Yeah.
Wow.
They all played when they were 12,
Oh, that's a great story.
and they went on to play for Man United. All 6 of them. And he said we just always played together. But he said it won't ever happen again. It won't happen again anymore because you got in those days, no one imported anyone from Brazil because no one knew.
Super League everywhere.
Yeah, Brazil wasn't. Where's Brazil? It's somewhere where chicks wore G-strings. Like now they. What are you laughing at?
I just love how you define a whole country by a place where chicks wear G-strings.
They did. No one knew no one knew anyone played soccer in Brazil. And if you played soccer over there, you played in the South American competitions. Now the world's so push button and everyone's 6 hours away.
Yeah.
You can
It's
play.
not just a
You can be a
waste of
Brazilian
money.
play for Man United. You go home and live in Brazil all week.
It's money.
It's all different. But that's yeah. I don't know. They do wear G-bangs.
Well, yeah. So Glenn's living in the past as well. He's watching that show, going, "Oh wow, wasn't that neat?"
But you'll never see them like that again.
No, you won't.
6
You won't.
little
That's
kids.
why we're all nostalgic for stuff like that.
What's a great story?
But what about our children? Will they feel the same way? I suppose they will. They feel nostalgic about the way things are now.
We've got 9-year-old boys out there with man boobs. Because they spend their whole life sucking on mother's tits, eating McDonald's, sitting at home on the computers, and they're growing titties. I was like, I had 9 ribs coming out of my gut from
I was
running
on
around
the
all day.
train the other day, and a kid walked up to its mum for a drink.
Oh, for fuck's sake. Fucking hell, what's wrong with it? Have you seen how fat kids are and how obese they are?
Glenn,
Oh,
Tap out.
it's only 367 days away.
I'll be right. I'll clear the 9-year-old man boobs in this country somehow.
So for some nostalgia here, Teeny writes, when I first began punting in the very early 80s, every metropolitan track was used for Saturday meetings. Crowds in the vicinity of 20,000 were the order of the day. Well, that is true. Plenty of people, plenty of bookies, plenty of fabulous memories. Like catching the train as a 16-year-old from Denali, meeting up with my cousin at Mortdale, changing trains at Sydenham, and then alighting from the next train at the Canterbury Racecourse platform at Canterbury Station, a platform which no longer
Teeny
exists.
does look in the past a lot, but in saying that, every time she writes something, yeah, I get a warm, fuzzy feeling. So at least Teen's got those beautiful memories. Unfortunately, Teen, they're not coming back.
Like the day I backed Manicato at 7-4 in Melbourne as the only winner all day among 7 second place getters. Well, torture has been timeless, hasn't it?
Torture has been Thomas. Manicato, what a great horse he was too.
Young enough to get in for nothing, old enough to punt, grabbing a tinny of Tooheys Draft or Tooheys Country Special. Tooheys Country Special, well, that's a blast from the past. And climbing the timber stairs of the rickety old white stand at the northeastern end of the straight, well past the winning post to watch the race. Wow, that predates me as well. I can't remember a wooden stand where the 1550 metre start is.
I can't remember.
No. But maybe some other viewers can. My first bet at Canterbury was moments after stepping through the gates with a bookie fielding on the lawn just inside the entry. So full was the betting ring with bookies and punters The hundreds of now boarded up tote windows also in use. Well, I remember those.
Yeah.
My bet was on a horse part owned by a friend of my father's, Flying Admiral 330s. Yes, the bookies seemed to post these inflated odds for roughies in those days. They sure did. Digger Lob and Peter Todd and there were lots of bookies that bet
No, well,
330s, 500s.
and some of them bet 2 rolls under each way. It was like 200s each way.
You just never ever see that again.
Oh, never ever again. Now
You
it's
know,
$200 and $9 a place.
It ran
fucking
It ran nowhere, but I managed to also back the 13-to-8 favourite with a paper $1 or two, and the next 2 winners at shortish prices too. The main attraction of the day over was my father's friend's other horse in the last, Charming Cavalier, trained by Peter Roach at Warwick Farm, and that day to be ridden by Peter Cook. They posted 2s, then 9-4 and 5-2, and with the turn of the knob to 11-4, I launched my beer-induced plunge. By race 8, I'd probably had about 4. A tenner with a bookie at the end of the rails. Wow, it felt so risky to bet such an amount. But with moments to go, it kept on the drift, and at 3-1, I could resist no more and had another 2. I sat in the stand as nervous as hell, my day's winnings invested on this horse. But P. Cook, the champ, into the straight, saw a run on the fence, angled back in and dashed home for it to score. I tell you, P. Cook, he was when he was in the right situation.
Let's just talk about Teeny here for a minute, because Teeny's had a long association with the show, a long association with social media, whatever. And let's say having I don't want to say a confused adulthood, but being whatever Teeny is, like, doesn't she have warm, wonderful memories of like when she was a lad with Dad and and betting tickets and like I'm not saying. I just like you, Teeny. You're a good fucking egg.
And an ornament to the show.
Always says, I was with Dad, or I remember this. And like, I'm talking about a life with a lot of confusion in it, maybe. And I'm not saying, because I don't know her, that she has completely worked everything out.
Is she like a journalist or something? Because she writes so well.
Yeah, he writes really well.
And they're always great memories. And they're
things that jog the memory.
Yeah, they jog my memory. And I go, that was, yeah.
Well, they're generally stories about stuff I've never heard about before. So.
Well, I felt quite a close association to it. And if you said that Glenn Poll had a close association or had good feelings about a transvestite, or is that what Teeny is?
No.
Transsexual?
Yeah.
You would think I can't listen to blacks on the radio.
Yeah.
So it's life something.
But life is about knowing somebody that's different. See, apparently, same-sex marriage is now a fait accompli because people know
more people.
They're part of their extended family.
Not just one person came out of the closet, the community came out of the closet.
Well, you just got to personally know someone in that situation and you're suddenly okay about it.
Well,
every time she writes a story, I always really enjoy it.
I loved playing soccer when I was a kid because I grew up in the Shire, so everybody's a xenophobic racist pretty much, or to some certain degree. But it's just because they actually haven't hung out with the others. So I played soccer for your Greek clubs and your Italian clubs and your Hungarian clubs, and I got to know them all, and I found them absolutely fantastic people. And to be honest, I used to be embarrassed because I'd go over to their house, their dads would be offering me Johnny Walker Blue Label, and their mum had put a platter that could feed 100 people on for me to eat. They'd come over mine, and mum would offer them a Vegemite sandwich. So I felt a little bit rough.
Big load of goods, Mum. And I think we've probably
got as long as we can go.
Yes, because we started with Glenn being racist and we've finished with Gord not being racist.
This show always equals out. Anyway, see you dinner week.
See you guys.